You. Hello, hello. Do we still know how this works? Are we live on the right thing? Of course, it's been a while. Yes, it's all good. It's all good. Already see Saber Knight, which is amazing. Good to see you, Saber Knight. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you back. I'm 120 plus hours into Crimson Desert and loving it. Just into chapter 5, still looking for elements and want my dragon mount. Well, for the dragon mount, you of course have to continue with the main story, but that is awesome, Saber Knight. And welcome everyone to the stream if you're watching later. Thanks for clicking on the video, checking it out. We have some news to go over. I already saw some black flag stuff because seems like next week is the reveal. What? Wapadu? So that is pretty interesting indeed. Let's see. Yo, good morning. Hey, Space Vest the World. Reddit Venom, good to see you as always. Skata, Peps Gaming, good to see you too. It's been a while. So for people who don't know, I was on a trip. I was at my brother's wedding. Can I show pictures so people believe me that I was not just chilling on the beach somewhere? No. I should have some somewhere. But how has everyone been? I want to return to the weekly streams, although I already know about another trip coming up. Work, holiday combined. But after that, though, not a lot of trips. That face, no, that's actually good. I'm happy to be back with a regular schedule. Let me know if you'd have that as well. Like, I think 2 weeks of holiday is more than enough. I like to have a sort of. I just like to be in the flow of things and going away for very long. Coming back, I just have to be like, oh, what was I doing again? How can I pick up things again? So yeah, that's kind of it. I played a lot of Crimson Desert when I got back, enjoying that still as well, and really cool to see many people now sometimes further than me, because I of course got the game 2 weeks early, but was also making videos, etc. So could not like play no live. But yeah, it has been great. Let's see if I can find a picture. If I can find a picture here somewhere. Wait, I have an idea. I have an idea for one picture I can show. Copy it. Paste it. So for people who don't know, or if you watch the Sunday videos, then you know I was, because it's usually, and this is kind of a nice way to kind of see that as well. But usually when a game comes out, if you have a YouTube channel or if you make content on games, then of course, when a game is out, when people are all playing it, you want to be at home, grinding the game, and also making videos on it. And usually I do that. But now I was forced to go on a trip. And that like, I would not have done it any other way, obviously, but as someone who has been doing this for 10, 11 years now, a YouTube channel can take over. Like, it's like, I want to make video. Like, people are, where's the Crimson Desert content? Like, the people were very happy with the content, and then you are moving away from a PC. This sounds really bad, actually, now that I say it out loud, but this is what a YouTuber, that if you're really like, a YouTuber, then that's kind of, people will agree with this, or they will know what I mean. But basically, this was the wedding. So this is my brother's fiance, and I was doing a speech about my brother, and she was translating it to Chinese, because the wedding was in China, and that meant that from Amsterdam to China is like 15 hours, and we did like a cool almost 2-week trip after that. So that was a few days after Crimson Desert came out, so that's why I had to move and leave all the stuff behind, and I did not look. I was like, I did see the updates for Crimson Desert. I was like, whoa, because I of course made a video on the mounts for Crimson Desert, And really, like a week later, they added like permanent mounts to the game, like the bear mount, the wolf mount, which awesome. But yeah, that was yeah. So it was kind of weird to not be home when a big game comes out when everyone is making videos on it. But I think it showed me that it is okay. It's okay to sometimes let go and be like, nothing I can do about it. But I hope there were still other people making cool videos. Rumo Tonello, good to see you. East Blue Jew, Slawomir, good to see you. 53 Nights, good to see everyone here back on these streams again. I will be doing the streams weekly. There's one day where it might be an issue, although I can still do a stream that week on a Monday, and I think I will do that. So there's one more trip coming up, and then that will be it for the rest of the year almost. So I want to go back to the weekly streams again, because it's nice to, for you, I would imagine as well, to know, okay, every Wednesday, every Monday or something like that, we could have a cool time here on YouTube and Twitch. Kind of going over the gaming news. So I want to catch up with everyone, and then we're immediately throwing it to Insider Gaming. Tom Henderson, of course, at it again. Some things, even if you go on a 2-week trip, never freaking change. And that is Tom Henderson with the scoops. Peps Gaming, when are you getting married to? Well, don't worry, it will not be for a long time. But one day for sure. I think weddings are awesome though. Like a wedding, like, especially if you have a friend group. I luckily in the Netherlands, everyone lives pretty close by. But it's still, sometimes you have a party, or sometimes you want to throw something and then invite people, and everyone is like, sorry, I already have. So in the Netherlands, I know for some people it's crazy. I know a lot of people that move abroad, like from another country to the Netherlands, and they try to make plans with Dutch people, and they're surprised by the fact that we already have something planned 2 months in advance. My weekends for this year are already booked, most of the weekends, which kind of crazy, but that's just what we like to plan ahead, the Dutch people. But for a wedding, everyone will make time. Obviously, a wedding, you will also plan that like maybe a year in advance or something, but everyone will be there. And that was cool about the China trip as well. My brother invited a lot of people from his college, from his friends right now that live in London, and they all showed up to China, which is like they had to make sure that they could get a vacation from their work, of course. Use the vacation days for that, and pay a lot to get to China. And a lot of them wanted to do that. And of course, it's very cool to go to China and have Chinese people that can also help you with planning and booking, and they know cool things that as a regular tourist you would not know. So it was all very exciting. It was a very cool trip. And one thing I want to say is that I did an escape room in China, and that was next level. So I'm not sure if you ever done an escape room. Probably you know what it is, right? But it's usually about solving puzzles in a group and then trying to get out of the room in like an hour. And often it's like, oh, you start in one room, whoa, there's a second room, oh, there's a third room. And the puzzles are like you have to mix and match things, do math or something like that. Well, in China, they had 2 actors. It was basically as if you were playing a Resident Evil game, but in real life. We were in a group of 6. At one point, like there were multiple gameplay elements as well. Again, it was really feeling like I was playing a game. And at one point, I was grabbing a camera. So we started in an exhibition, and we had to find a key to open, like sort of to open something, and then we would get like a new clue to continue. But that key was in another room, and it was completely dark. But we had a camera, and it was not a real camera, but you could like flash with it. And so you were walking super dark, and every 5 seconds you could flash. So you wanted to do that because, again, it was super dark. This is a horror escape room. But they had 2 actors, one girl who was like your typical horror girl who can move her limbs in like ways that you're like, what? How is it even possible? And they had one guy who was like the killer, and he at one point got into a sort of he got like very big. It was kind of crazy, but every time he would flash the camera, they would be in some sort of. They could either be very close to you, they could be in the distance doing some weird moves. There were doors that could open, and you could be like spooked from multiple ways. But at one point, I figured out they're never going to touch you. There are escape rooms in China where they can actually grab you, put you on a chair for 30 minutes. Then you're stuck on this chair, and then the rest of your team has to come and save you. So there are crazy escape rooms like that. We did the low intensity one, like not scary at all, but it was still very scary if you are not into horror. But I wasn't that scared actually. Like I was kind of the person who went in front with the camera and stuff. So maybe I am finally ready to play Resident Evil games. That's I was like I went out of it. It wasn't that bad. I just don't like jump scares. But either way, sidetrack. Melissa, hey, good to see you. Hey, Captain P, yes. I heard that China is like a different planet when you walk on the streets. Answer says, I mean, as a tourist, you're not getting the real China experience. They really carefully created spaces for where you can exist as a tourist. And hiking, for example, it's not really hiking. You're going to a nature park where they put staircases, so you're more climbing stairs than actually hiking in the mountains. And yeah, the cities are huge, but it still has all the shops. It has all the malls. So there are a few things that you will immediately notice. For one, everyone drives electric. There are a lot of scooters as well. You don't hear them, but they're all electric, which kind of awesome. But that's, of course, because I think most of the vehicles, the electric vehicles, are being made there, so they're pushing that. But that's, of course, good for the environment overall. Although they don't care about plastic and all that sort of stuff, so there's another side to it. But if you go to like a city that has 4 million people living there, they will probably, like, for one, not know English. And they will have not seen Western people, I think, in their life often. It just doesn't happen that often that people travel to China, to these lesser known cities than Shanghai, for example. I also went to Shanghai. I went to Liangzhou, which is where the fiance from my brother grew up. It was more like an engagement party, by the way. It was not like the real wedding. They're still going to do that later. But are there lots of robots? Well, the thing is, like, employment, having someone work for you is actually pretty cheap in China. So sometimes a robot is more expensive than hiring a person. I know that sounds crazy, but they also in China have crazy work where, for example, at one point we were in a garage and we just went out to a bar, and we knew people that would drive us to our hotel, and there was a guy on a bike. Like on a small bike, and we were like, huh, what is he doing? Well, and maybe this is like just something that is not in Europe, but I was surprised by this. So you can hire a guy who, if you have been drinking when you go out, you can hire a guy who drives your car to your house so you can drink. And then that guy will just on his bike away, or maybe there are like other sort of shuttles that will pick him back up. But your job can be to drive people home that have been drinking because they cannot drive themselves. So instead of getting a taxi, you can still go out with your own car, and then someone else will drive you home. They have jobs for everything basically, which is kind of crazy. But obviously lots of people working there. One Try Only says Crimson Desert is not the real name. It is Hernand. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the coverage that I did, like pre-launch, the review, and some of the other things. The things when I said like 50 hours in Hernand, Like I'm still seeing people that are only in Hernandez. And that was kind of one of the points that I wanted to make, that the game is huge and you can really be in the starting area for a long time. And I think I was also, like, I really saw that the updates are going to be great. And they have been amazing for Crimson Desert. That we talk about things on Reddit or in the YouTube comments or in videos, and a week later, they've already applied it. I really think, and I want to make a video on this, Ubisoft has to step their game up, and some things just are not, they cannot do them anymore. Like, it's really interesting that this is of course a Korean game, but we have Phantom Blade Zero later in the year, and of course we have Black Myth Wukong earlier. But I think Crimson Desert basically made a game that we usually see from a Ubisoft, maybe CD Projekt Red and stuff. CD Projekt Red has already been great with like free DLC and stuff like that. But Crimson Desert has really upped what we should expect from these types of games. And if you have a bear mount, like one update adds a bear mount, a wolf mount, a deer mount, like all these mounts that, for example, in Ubisoft games you have to pay for in Helix packs, that's just not good enough anymore. You cannot do that anymore when there's another game that has even more content and is very high quality. I think also with a Crimson Desert, and we of course had some other open world games like Ghost of Yotei, I do think it really highlights how it's still really cool that we get these big open world Assassin's Creed RPGs as well, because they nail stealth and they have parkour. And Crimson Desert, many things does it do better than some of the other open world games. Ghost of Yotei, of course, the same, but stealth sucks in those games. Like, it's not good. You cannot even do stealth in Crimson Desert. So still, they're like, I think that is kind of cool. It's not often that stealth is like a big part of these open world RPGs, those fantasy type games. And I think that's cool that Assassin's Creed still provides that. Obviously, I mean, it would be wild if they didn't do that. But I do think Ubisoft cannot release another RPG and be like la 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 and not look at what Crimson Desert is doing. And I think all these companies, it's the amount of player feedback and how quick they are to respond. I think that them having their own engine and can likely tweak things very rapidly helps, of course, a lot. But as a player, like, we can talk about, yeah, but Ubisoft, blah, 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 more people in the team and the hierarchy, and it's harder to make changes and blah, blah, blah. But if you then do a roadmap where every month you have like one big update with new features, and then on the other side, like for a same game that costs the same price, Crimson Desert, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and for Crimson Desert, every week they have a bigger update than Shadows got in one time, it's not good enough anymore. It's not good enough anymore. I think that is very interesting to see, and that will be another video that we will do. You have to leave Hernand and just keep going. I agree. So during my review for Crimson Desert, I was also like, okay, I want to have footage of other countries in this game as well. So at one point I decided, let's just go out and see what happens. And I was surprised. Like, I still think it's not as, like, it's not the same as other games. Like, I think a Ghost of Yotei is an amazing example of, you can really go everywhere apart from that final region, right, where you get the rifle and stuff. The rest is explorable from the start, and you can manage. You can immediately, if you want, get the Odashi early. You can immediately get all the other weapons. Every enemy you fight, even though it's a new faction, you can take them out. Crimson Desert, though, not really the case. And of course, some of the cities and stuff are locked behind main story missions, with enemies occupying them that you have to kill in the main story missions. So I do think, in terms of open world, like I said in the review, it's really the MMO RPG design. Like, you really see that they internally or in the background have a sort of level requirement for each zone where the enemies get more difficult. And that means, like, it would be cool, I think, that if you explore go out and then find the boss in the desert early. Sure, you should not be able to kill all of them, obviously, but some of them, if you're good enough. But right now, it's like one shot, and you're okay, I'll come back later, and that's for almost like a lot of the things that you find in the world. At one point, you do reach a point where you're kind of powerful, and even if you're still in Hernant and are kind of powerful, you can already go out and do some things, but I wish it was a bit welcoming in that sense, and or that there was only one region where it was, okay, this is clearly the end game region, I should not go there yet. But in Crimson Desert, every region is kind of like, come back later, please, come back later. Pollock is saying, is it expensive or cheap in China in general, Jor? So it really depends on where you go in China. If you go to these non-wet, like those like unfamiliar cities, or those like a Lianzhou, again, 4 million people live there. It's huge, but we've never heard about it. Those cities are cheap. It's pretty cheap. Like, again, that's also what we're now I mean, it's still a gaming show, right? That's also what we're now seeing in the gaming industry. Western big studios, especially in the US, have a hard time competing with these Asian teams, because the quality is getting up there. Like, for a really long time, these studios had been doing the outsource work for all the Western teams, but they've been, trying their hand at AAA. They were first, of course, mostly doing mobiles type of games, etc. I think Unreal Engine 5 and even 4 to a degree really helped make it easy for them to make a good-looking game. And they're now getting experience, and they're reaching the same level or higher. And I think they really have gameplay first approach, where the story is often not really good, but they really go, okay, let's make a game that if you see it, you're like, what the heck, I need to play it. Black Myth Wukong, Phantom Blade Zero, Crimson Desert had that too. And those systems are like, they're getting better and better, but we even saw the budget for Crimson Desert. I think it was like $155 million, which is a lot. But yeah, that game has been in development for 7-8 years. They were working on the engine, etc. If you made Crimson Desert in the US, or if Ubisoft made Crimson Desert, it would have been $300-400 million. And that is kind of the crazy part about it. You can basically fund double the size of the team in China or Korea, and versus in the West. And now the quality is getting on the same level. So it's, I really think only a few big US teams and European teams and Japanese teams, obviously, will succeed. Will stay around, like a CDPR. That will be fine. But other teams will have a hard time, because it's just really hard to compete with these Chinese teams. And again, Crimson Desert is also showing how it can be done. How you can run a single player open world game. Jay is saying, are you doing the podcast today? Not sure. I've not talked to Luke in some time. I was, of course, on a trip. We had some talk during Crimson Desert. But I want to, but I should shoot him a message. I have no plan. Don't expect it. Fazzy is saying, what's the next big game being covered for this channel? Saros, Pragmata. It's gonna be a 007 Fazzy, and then it's gonna be the Black Flag remake, and then it's gonna be Phantom Blade Zero. We, of course, maybe you remember, did this. The release calendar. So it was this. We can update it together. Let's do it. Okay. Crimson Desert is out. So we still have the Witcher DLC, but that seemed to be now rumored for September. I hope it's not true. September is gonna be crazy. Many games will still be announced for September. So yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, they actually moved this up a week. I think it's now the 22nd, or is it like it's something like that? Control Resonance. Still looking forward to that. If that comes out before Black Flag, this is the rumor date for Black Flag. We have some Black Flag news, by the way, in a moment. I really hope Blood of the Dawnwalker in August is true. I think this game, if it's hitting like September, October, it's gonna have a hard time. Phantom Blade Zero is like bold. Let's do some games that are bold that I'm like can't wait for. Animusha 2, Jedi 3. We could see an announcement for that on May the 4th. Fable, of course, huge, and GTA as well. I mean, I can make everything bold. And yeah, we of course had these already. Theros is looking very sweet indeed. And yeah, this is kind of... I think the rumor for Lords of the Fallen was actually August now. I think. I want the pirate game, Yor. Well, you get one that you... I don't care about Assassin's Creed no more. I want the pirate game. I mean, if you've never played Black Flag, but then you should totally probably try the remake, but... how many of these are PS5 exclusive? Only Saros and Wolverine. Yeah. And Phantom Blade Zero, but this is on PC as well. But yeah, only Saros and Wolverine. Luke will be on later today. Oh yeah, as always, yeah. If Crimson Death's story was just a little bit better, it would have been the Claire Obscure of 2026. I don't know. I think Phantom Blade has a higher chance of becoming... Like, what do we... What are the metrics for a Claire Obscure situation? If I would want to go first, I would say... I'm gonna... No. Because they're almost all bold. I would say it's a game that we did not see coming. That is way better than we anticipated. That had a really good story. Was made by a smaller team. I think that's part of it. Yeah, I think that kind of came out of nowhere is a good one. But like I already said. And everything it's trying to do, it does very well. And I just think that, like, again, I think, like, I like Crimson Desert more than Expedition 33. Because Crimson Desert is more a game for me. But I think if we look at it based on facts, I think Expedition 33 is the better game because it almost excels at everything it's trying to do. Crimson Desert, the story is not really great. I think the combat is fine, but it's also not amazing. The Crimson Desert combat. Like, the side missions are kind of cool. Some of them. Not all of them. Crimson Desert, I think, it's more a feeling. It's more I cannot really describe... Like, of course you can describe. The world is enormous. There's always something, like... I really think Crimson Desert is that dream open world game that just doesn't end. But that is not something you can like put on a scale and it's like, oh, it's a game of the year contender. I think Crimson Desert will be game of the year for many people, but I don't think it will get a nomination for game of the year, if that makes sense. Because yeah, if you just look at it in terms of, like, I think the 7.8, I would give it an 8.5, I think. But for me, the fact that they are responding to updates or like to feedback so fast that they're, again, you just want to exist in this world. You're constantly thinking about it. You're booting it up. You're like, but you can totally see the flaws. It doesn't mean that it's worse than that, or that it's like, you basically know what you're getting into, but still you can't stop playing. And I think that Expedition 33 is just... It's like a really, really quality game. Gothic remakes look great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. We're gonna put that on the list. Did I already have it here? Other promising game. We're gonna put Gothic here. 8.9 for me. I think what they do with DLC will tell us everything. For Crimson Desert, like, I think Crimson Desert is a game where I don't know if I need DLC. Like, and what we saw, like, DLC can still work for the game like that, but I think that there will be many people that are like, I have not even finished the main game. Why would I need DLC? Like, what would the DLC? I would love DLC. Don't get me wrong, but I would prefer. I think it would be better to maybe add a new playable character, or like, I don't know. I'm of two minds. I think new DLC, new bosses would of course be cool. Hopefully a better story. They can take a lot of the learnings and put it into awesome content. But I do think it will be an interesting situation where it's like Valhalla always comes to mind for me. I think many people did not touch the DLC because they were like, I've not even finished the main game. And Crimson Desert, like, Crimson Desert gets better the more you play. Valhalla has a very bad middle part, and that middle part is like huge. Valhalla is like, first 10 hours, whoa, this is fresh, new, awesome. 10 to 80, it's like, oh, not again. And then 80 to 100 or something, you're like, awesome. I finally have some cool weapons. I still think Valhalla is a great game, but replaying that, I don't know. I do think it has a bit too much, and I think many people were like, I don't need DLC. Like, I've not even finished the main game, and I'm curious what percentage for Crimson Desert that will be, unless, and they probably will, it will look amazing and you can access it. It's like a new region. If it's like a new region that you can even access from the beginning of the game, maybe a region that they do scale to you, I think that would be awesome. That's like an MMO. But I don't know if it's like if they do a DLC that takes place after the main story, I really think not a lot of people will buy it. New weapons, equipment, and enemies. Again, I think everyone that has been playing this game will not have seen all the equipment, all the weapons, and all the enemies. So there's always something new for you in the game. Still, though, I think it would be cool. But I just think it's an interesting kind of thought process where I think they should spend way more time fixing the game and making... What if they completely redid the tutorial? I know that's maybe not exciting for if you've been playing the game a lot, but I think that would benefit the game a lot. I'm more for, let's just make what they already have a way better experience. Then let's add more to it, because there's already so much. Any news on Red Dead Redemption Remake for PS5? I mean, I don't think they're gonna do a remake. Maybe later, but they're not gonna do a remake for this generation because they just ported it. I think a PS5 version for Red Dead Redemption 2 would be long overdue. I hope they do it before GTA. Yeah, Pascal Gaming, that's what the CEO said. Yeah, I saw that too. And I think that's the best approach. Look at what you already have, and I would, like, I can still see them, and I think that would be a better approach. Every update add something secret. Oh, that area that first had nothing, now we added a boss to it. Oh, that NPC that first did not have a story, or you would finish the quest line and you were kind of like, want to see more of them. Oh, we added an extra story for that. I think that would be a way better way to still give something for people that have finished a lot of the game, or that want more, to every update drip feed some sort of content. Instead of being like, yo, did you finish our 500-hour game? Well, good luck to you. We got another big expansion. And like, what? God of War Trilogy Remake being done. How will that go? It will be a while before we see it, but I'm actually I'm excited for it. Them doing it in house. Secret quests and items. Yeah, I think that would be the way to go for them. That it's like, was that house already there, and then you go in and it's like a completely new quest? Where's Pragmata? That is one of those games where I will pick it up if it's like it has like 9s. I just don't know. I just found out about a beekeeper build. I've seen these beekeepers, they're super powerful. They definitely have a larger map than Valhalla, yeah. Yet I had 2190 hours in Valhalla. Pyrus, high five. I'm on that as well. I have a little less. I don't think I hit 2000. I'm not sure yet. Charles saying, so what? It's a single player that's an MMO that has always been Division. I mean, it was an MMO that turned into a single player game. It's not that they wanted to do a single player MMO. We just still see the remnants of the MMO that they did. Crimson Death need Radiant quests and enemies respawning mechanic. Yeah, Robert, like, again, that is something I can see them at, right? Where they're like, okay, we for me, it's like, I would love, and this might sound crazy, okay? What if there is an open world council? Okay, hear me out. Every game that releases, every game, we're asking for the same damn things. I remember even Far Cry 5. When you would kill all the Peggies, the world was empty. Then in New Dawn, they added a respawn mechanic, and Far Cry 6 had it as well. The older games, of course, had if you've done all the outposts, you could reset them too. In Odyssey, if you complete a castle, the freaking captain is gone. Like, we have always been here. We've done this so many times. New Game Plus is another thing. Transmog is another thing. I want there to be a open world council where every studio that makes an open world game can go to this council and they are like, what do we need to do that everyone wants? So we won't have the situations where they are surprised that the world is suddenly empty and people want enemies to fight. Now, obviously, in Crimson Desert, it's crazy that people have reached that point already, almost 3 weeks after launch. But this has been an issue and a request for so many people. Can we remove the shield? I think Transmog is another big one. Like, it's crazy that the game doesn't have it with the amount of unique items. So again, I would prefer them to add those things than to work on a content DLC. But yeah, open world council. I think that would be cool. Need respawning enemies and bosses, recapturing camp, sieges, Radiant quest. Robert, I agree. And if I showed you this comment, to, like, in 2017, people would be like, oh, do you mean for Origins? Oh, do you mean for Far Cry? Oh, do you mean... Throughout the years, the timeline, every game, we're asking for the same damn things. It's interesting. You just have like a template or something. Of course, they have to make choices. You cannot access everything. For me, the biggest thing is that if I go to an interview, or if we like play the game, they are surprised that we want this. And I get it. They're like tunnel vision on this game. But I do think it's good to kind of... Again, they cannot really know, I think, all the time. So that's why I think the council is a good idea. But yeah, I do think it's good that we maintain the knowledge, because it feels often that we're moving from game to game, and all the knowledge is thrown away. We're starting fresh. They've learned some things, but they forgot other things. Borderlands in a similar situation, by the way, right now. I've been keeping an eye on what there's going on over there. It's not good. It feels like a completely new team at Gearbox that never made a Borderlands game is making that game. With the content creators are constantly like, why did you not think about that? That was in Borderlands 2. Hey, what about the pearls? Why do you give it away for free? That's not how this works. And what do you... It is very interesting indeed. Friendly City 7 is saying they don't want you playing forever. They want you to move on to the next one. I can see where that sounds interesting. Like that sounds like a legit thing. So that, to be fair though, if I think about it, I obviously don't agree with this. Like, every company, the main metric that they share is monthly active users or engagement hours per player. Because what they figured out is that the more people play a certain game, the more they're willing to spend on extra content. And you bet that Crimson Desert will get microtransactions at one point. Probably when they might do a free content update or anything. And they will probably make a lot of money on it. They earned the goodwill. Like, they don't want you moving on to a next thing, because then they will lose you. Now, again, if we have Origins, the next year you had Odyssey, then Ubisoft obviously wants you to move on to Odyssey. But I really think, if you are hardcore and have reached the point in Origins where you have no enemies to kill, and there's a new game coming out, I would be shocked if, because the enemies respawn in Origins, you would not buy Odyssey. I don't get that. So I think they want to keep you playing, obviously. That is that has been, for many games, also what kind of hurt them. Like, if Ubisoft doesn't mandate to their studios to have people play their game for forever, because then they can make more money, like, from a business perspective, it makes sense. But then Valhalla would not be as big as it is. Then they would be like, okay, we have playtests over here. People kind of got bored around the 30 hours. Maybe cut a few story arcs. Maybe let's not do that. But no, they were like, okay, people will play way more, and we have these Helix packs. They will probably buy more of that as well if we make the game longer. And that is sadly the reality of things. But for Sony first party games, for the exclusives, they don't, like, the moment you buy a console or you buy the game, Sony wins, because they get money from everything else you buy on the PlayStation. So all these exclusives are just throwing horses for you to get the console. And yeah, then you are stuck on that platform. You will probably buy more. And Ubisoft, the console is the game for Ubisoft. It's their ecosystem. So it just works a bit different. But no, if they can extend the playtime, they will. If they expand the... Like, we have so many animals in the game. Give us the option to keep lions, tiger as a permanent mount. I agree with that. But I think what they did with the bear, though, is kind of awesome, because it has a sort of... It's a white bear, but it has a sort of, like, equipment as well. So I would prefer it if they expanded maybe first the bear mount, and the mounts that we have give us armor that we can buy for it. Maybe add a bear master NPC that can let us upgrade our bear mount, or that we can pet it, like that it has levels as well. I would prefer if they do that than give us a lot of, like, random mounts that... Like, I would prefer a bit more depth for each mount before adding others. And I think that they might be looking into that. And obviously, I do think that it's easier said than done. Like, what you're seeing right now with the lion, if you ride it and then dismount, it will immediately run away. So, like, they probably have to redo some of the behavioral things from the lion and other sort of mounts before they can be a permanent inclusion. I would love the raptor mount to be permanent, obviously, but it's very slow. Like, I think they need to speed that up, and that would probably cause some issues. And the raptor mount is pretty big. What if you reach a ceiling in a town and then you cannot like? I do think it's always easier said than done, and that's why I'm already really impressed that they added these permanent mounts as fast as they did. But I would prefer if they expanded that first, and then they would look at other mounts. Also, they don't want the physical copies to be traded in sold. Fifth Three Nights, yeah, you make a great point. That was mostly during the PS3 generation, though, when physical games were still a big thing. We, of course, during that generation saw the online codes. So if you wanted to play online, you got a code in the box. And then, like, that's why... That might be one of the reasons why all these single-player games, like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, they all got multiplayer, because then they could do the online code thing, where if you would buy it, you would fill in your code, and then if you would trade it into GameStop, people that bought it could not, like, they had to buy the online code from Sony or other companies to play online. So that way, those companies still got, like, some sort of money out of a trade-in game. Like, that was totally one of the big reasons for, for like, making games longer so people don't trade them in. But that is, of course, not the case anymore. Like, 80% of the games sold are now digital. So, yeah. It's not a big issue. Like, I don't... In the Netherlands, I don't think you can even buy games anymore. There might be some shops. I don't even know. Like, physical games are sadly dead. Do you think less people will watch next to a PlayStation Showcase with them moving away from PC? And do you think PlayStation would care? Hey, Mark. No. I don't think the whole PC situation has had the... Like, we kind of know it now. We, as hardcore people in tune with the news, we kind of know now that Sony will stop publishing on PC. They have not said it themselves yet. But I don't think it will hurt the PlayStation Showcase at all. Like, there are still many games in that showcase or in that state of play that will come to PC as well, like third-party titles. And no, I don't think it will hurt anything. And I do think that the people that bought, to be fair, like the people that bought the games on PC, I don't think they were I think that was a very small percentage of people that were watching a showcase for the games that they would then wait 2 years for to get on PC. So Maya, thanks for the super chat as always. Hook a brother up with a PS6. Thanks. I will keep a note here, and then when the PS6 is out, remind me again, and then I will tell you no. So yeah. Game Mania is failliet. Yes, it is. It's no more. So all the shops. But Samaya, I hope that I might do a giveaway. And then Samaya, you cannot win anymore because you asked. That's sadly how this works. But I appreciate your super chat. So annoying having characters who can't swim. It's like in general. What are your thoughts about the PS5 price rise, It hurt. It hurt. To be fair. Because I think it's just really bad for the gaming industry, for this console generation. Like, it sucks for the consumers that still don't have a PlayStation and want to get it for GTA or whatever. that sucks big time. But I'm also looking at it from the whole industry, and everyone is going to like feel this, feel the fact that less new people join the PlayStation generation. Like, I would like to think, and I think that that's probably the case, that you have a lot of people at launch, and then you buy a console, and then people fall off throughout the generation. They stop playing, they have other things going on, but you would always have a good new stream of people joining the hardware for the first time, especially when the console would actually get cheaper throughout the generation. And if we now lose that, if the pool of potential buyers for all these new games that are coming out in a like in an economic climate and in a very hostile gaming industry where a lot of people just play one game, like if you bought Crimson Desert and you're taking your time, you're playing maybe 10 hours a week or something, or a little more, you can play that game for the whole year. You would be fine. You don't need any other game. So if the potential pool of buyers also doesn't grow because the prices are too high, I really think we have a problem. And we're already seeing that I mean, even live service games that are super successful are not, like, they are feeling it too. I really think that a lot of people that would get a new console, like, they would buy certain games and they would be like, I just bought this new console. I want to get some other games that are coming out. I want to get Ghost of Yotei. I want to get Spider-Man. I want to get GTA or whatever. So, yeah, those sales will hurt. But also, maybe those people would play Fortnite with their friends, and now they're like, yeah, I don't know, I will just play it on my father's PC or whatever. I really think the prices suck for people that have to buy them, but I think the ramifications of people that would normally join gaming as a hobby or as a consumer to spend on the industry to, really make everyone that puts out games, make the economic state better for a lot of the companies. That money is now not coming in because the barrier to entry for a new console is too high, and I think, it will mean that we will lose people. That the pool, like, that's what Epic Games said as well when they laid off the 1,000 people from Fortnite and their other things, is that the next this generation of consoles has sold less than the previous generation, and now that will go down even more. Like, usually, again, you have a renaissance later in the generation when the PS Slim comes out or whatever, and it's $100 or $300 cheaper than the base or than the launch price model. But you're just not seeing that anymore. I just think it's really bad. When I saw that, I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. So if the PlayStation 6 is really made like way smaller, so they just put in all the things that they need, they don't want to go for a cool design, they don't need it to be like a spaceship in your living room, and that means that they can, with every ship or whatever, like they use to get consoles to different countries, that they can put like twice the amount of consoles on a ship. That would already lower the cost for Sony to send these consoles out. So hopefully that brings the console price down. If they can also use AI in certain ways we don't need the best of the best tech, but because we can use AI in interesting ways to still upscale or do other things, if that means that they can make a cheaper console, I think that is what the next generation needs to do. And it's kind of crazy. And I'm really curious if we might get a next generation that is more for the people that did not buy a PS5 or that feel kind of left out, than for the actual hardcore people. Like, I'm really curious what the PS6 is gonna bring for people that like us. Although I think Crimson Desert already showed it. Like, I think playing that on base PS5 is not a great experience. So if the PS6 already makes sure that is possible, is nice. Like the PS5 Pro is already way better than the PS5 version, so that is great. But like I would not mind if the PS6 is more about let's make the platform more accessible to more people. Then hey, we're just upping the graphics again. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting generation next time, and I think if more people play, we win. And what we're really seeing right now in the industry is, and I see it around me with friends as well, it's so much easier right now to spend the night scrolling on your phone or spend the night watching a TV show, or instead of investing and playing a big game. And we need as an industry to make it way easier for people to access gaming. Streaming, they're trying that obviously, but if right now like people that played a lot of games previously want to jump into gaming right now, and they see that the PS5 is $650 or euro, they're like, no, sorry, that's not for me. While they're willing to, they want to experience all the awesome games that we had. So I just hope that it becomes less of a luxury hobby than it is right now. Obviously, it won't be the same as it always was, but I do think there are many ways that we can make gaming much more accessible, and I hope the PlayStation 6 does that. And these price increases are really not helping with an already hostile situation, because I don't want an industry where we're getting a few games a year and they're all sequels, and yeah, there's just not much interesting happening, and there's not a lot of, like, I want in the AAA space also games that it's not as big of a gamble as it is right now. And right now, if we look at this like document as well, let's see here. I can already kind of, if we go through it right now, like I think we can already kind of guess what games will do well and what will not do well. And I think it's kind of a bloodbath. I think 007 First Light, I think they're expecting way too much from what that game will do. And I'm not talking about the quality, but I'm just talking about the financial business of things. I hope I'm wrong, but I think the game is gonna do very well. I think if they do like where we can play the game before launch and tell you about it, that's gonna be very important, because right now it's kind of hard to. Okay, it looks like an Uncharted or something. I don't know. It has Hitman vibes. So what is this game? But I think right now in this day and age, like I think they're gonna be like a 10-hour game or something. Pretty hard to with like a big budget. They have big names. Like I hope it does well, but this game probably needs to sell 4 million copies or something for it to be successful. Right now, that's just super hard. Like even Crimson Desert, it feels like everyone is playing that has just reached 4 million. So I think Lego Batman will be fine. That's Lego, that's Batman, that's cool. Control Resonant is another game where I'm like, looks awesome, but they want, like, the Control 1 did very well. So I hope they have realistic expectations for that. Again, Blood the Dawnwalker looks awesome, but right? I think Phantom Blade will do fine. Wolverine is a game that probably needs 8 million copies or something. Just like Spider-Man 2. Onimusha 2, that's another one where... So, obviously GTA will do fine. I think Fable will probably do fine. Jedi 3 as well. Ceros. Like, I just hope that all these companies have realistic expectations for their games. And basically with it becoming harder for people to jump into this generation, there are just less buyers, and that's just bad for everyone. It's so much better on base PS5 now, that's awesome. Okay, I'm happy that people are saying that Crimson Desert is good on base PS5. I've only seen it like around launch. Is there going to be another update for Shadows? They actually did an update for Shadows. But, yeah. They actually did one for Shadows, but there's going to be another one. Let's go to this thing that I still wanted to discuss. I will talk about it to Smoke when we have info. In the UK, I've seen there was a rent a PS5. That's crazy. Curious if people actually do that. Clara is gonna make a fortune on PS6. I wanted to get Animusha. Why is in the fall? I don't know. That was a prediction. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. I'm happy again that the Crimson Desert is great on base PS5. I'm not really good with PC building, but I might have to switch next generation if PS6 is going to be 1,000. I mean, PC is obviously even more expensive. 900 for Pro is wild, yeah. Don't forget your promises, Samai. Yeah, I will let you know when the PS6 is out. I have a note here. What are your thoughts about the PC rights? We talked about that. Have you seen the French activist group sue Ubisoft for removing the crew? No. But I think that whole crew story is kind of overblown. They gave away the crew 2 for $1. I think they learned. From it. Yeah, I'm planning to do more Crimson Desert content on the main channel. I want to do one video this week. So I hope you look forward to that. I've been working on it already, but that's the first time that, like, a game is out. I've played a lot, then I'm gone for 2 weeks, and I have to catch up. And it's not a great feeling. Blaze Flame, good to see you. So yeah, let's talk about this real quick. Black Flag remake announcement is planned for next week. Wapadu? A new report claims that the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake called Resynced is set to be announced next week. That's according to recent era user Blackbait, who said that the announcement is currently planned for April 16th. And that is on a Thursday next week. Oh, what? Did I reach the end of the stream again? Yeah, almost. Insider Gaming also understands that the announcement has been planned for April 16th for some time, often citing the mid-April release window that they indeed did. According to internal documentation obtained by Insider Gaming, if it does not go public, the game is scheduled to release in financial year 27 Q2, which is anywhere from June to August of this year. Some sources have suggested that the game will release in July, but given Ubisoft's tendency to delay and outright cancel its games, we suggest taking this date with a grain of salt. And yeah, this July 28th. That has been the rumor for a long time. Black Flag Resynced will mark a pivotal point for Ubisoft, with the title being one of the franchise's major releases for this year's financial year. It's true. So that's basically these 12 months. The game will be the first of 2 major releases this year, with Ubisoft relying on Black Flag Resynced and a mainline Ghost Recon game due to release late fiscal year, early 2027, improving the company's finances. They need something. Black Flag will be that, but mainline Ghost Recon will be tough. But recent cost cutting could put some of its projects at risk, with potential 1,000 more layoffs across the publisher studios yet to come over the next 2 years. Whether or not Black Flag Resynced will be a success remains to be seen, but I'm eager to sail the seas once more. Well, I think it will be a success. But yeah, that game was huge. I think Black Flag sold like 20 million copies. 15 million copies. So that's a lot. But yeah, let's see how many people will pick up the Resynced. Another interesting thing, we go here. Halo Evolved will come out on July 28th, with early access on July 23rd. So it seems that Halo for PS5 will launch on the same day as the Black Flag remake. Yep. So yeah, next week, I hope so. That would be awesome. I will, of course, keep you up to date. Ninja Bear says, hey, Jor, why haven't you uploaded Ghost Legends content? Well, Ninja Bear, or Ninja Bear, I should say, sorry. Well, that launched 1 week before Crimson Desert, and I was busy with Crimson Desert. That is basically it. I did do a stream. But yeah, that release timing was very unfortunate. And many people that covered Ghost of Yotei Legends last time were all working on Crimson Desert. And I really think that companies, and I've said this before, should take that into account when launching their things. That if they want free press, if they want content to flood the YouTubes, the TikToks, so that more people play their product, they should think of other games that are coming out that these creators will be occupied by. And in the case of Go to Yotei Legends, either launch it way earlier or launch it in May or something like that. Again, from now till Black Flag, July 28th, there's nothing big like that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give my life to that. But yeah, I would have made Yotei Legends videos if they launched in May. But yeah. Jor, when do you think they will PlayStation will show their big guns, big first party announcements? May, June, or September, or spread them? Yeah, Blaze Flame, I think they will still spread them during the State of Plays. And then for the PlayStation 6, we will get a showcase again where they will reveal the big games. But it does seem that the State of Play for the summer will include the Cory game. Then I think Intergalactic gameplay reveal will be in the September State of Play. That has been my guess. Tsushima Legends was better, yeah. I heard that too. I just played the story mode, or like some of the story missions. I want to do more of it though. No problem, just curious. Yeah, no, I totally get it, Ninja Bear. I totally get it. So I have to get out of here. I have to move. So thanks everyone for watching these weekly streams as always. I'll be back next week. And yeah, I will be focused on a dedicated time again. So yeah, let's try and figure that out. Again, I have one more trip coming up. And then we should be able to make it every week almost. Almost every week. Either way, I will keep you up to date. Thanks always for joining. Really good to see everyone again. And yeah, I will, of course, have the Sunday video up. Another Crimson Desert video. So look forward to that. And yeah, have a great rest of the week. I will speak to you soon. Thanks, Brock, as always, for moderating. Mr. Big Daddy says, what are